And we have one more look at the grain and livestock trade here on this Wednesday. And did we save the best till last? I'll ask that to our good friend here, Todd Horwitz. He's live at the edge of the trading floor in Chicago. Todd, well, I don't know if you think about that here. Maybe having little issues, technical issues here getting to Chicago. Here, I had it all set up for him, and hopefully we'll get that corrected and get back to Chicago. We go to the board and check out what the futures are doing here right now, corn, soybeans, and wheat. Been higher through the day, but off of the highs set earlier than September, for example, is one example, and November or December as well. In the case of September corn, 389 was the high today. Right now, 380.5 is higher, but it's just 3.5 higher. And after being up nearly a dime here at times. December new crop, likewise, 402.5. That's the high of the day, not right now. 402.5 is the high. Right now, 394 a bushel. So that, again, you're talking 8 cents off of the high set earlier. So that would put us, again, about 10, 11 cents higher at the high point of the day. Right now, we're 3 1/4 higher for that December contract. We turn to the soybean trade, and again, all about the weather and these new models. Marlon and I mentioning this yesterday, but interesting, we have a new model, be it European or the U.S. model, coming here midday, and sometimes you see a change, a bigger change quickly in prices. It can be a result of the new forecast that the traders are watching. 8 cents higher, bottom line, in the bean trade. August, 9.97 3/4. November new crop, 10.10.5, up 8 3/4. Now, I think we can go back to Chicago and see if we can hook up with the Todd Horwitz. Todd, I had a great introduction for you. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I was giving you all I could.
I couldn't wait to dive in. My mic died. I got to hold the battery in because I lost the bottom of it, so I'm doing the best I can.
You have technical and equipment issues like we do here as well. It's
hard for me to talk with my hands.
Yeah, well, you never do. I know. You're kind of a quiet guy. Don't talk with your hands. But all right, grain trade, money flowing in, money flowing out. Kind of get your thoughts here on this trade, because you watch numbers and the money flow, and not so much all these weather and fundamental issues.
I think the markets, as you know, I'm very bullish on markets in general. I have some key numbers we're watching, and I think that, you look at corn, and corn is kind of goofing around this $4 level, December. And I think we're going to go much higher. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see some selling, and I think you saw some of the overnight action the last couple of days higher, and then we end up, kind of selling off a little bit during the day. Not dramatically, but again, some profit taking comes in. I think we're looking for a little bit of a hard sell and then a rebound rally, which I think will be much stronger. But I think right now we are holding, and if we can build a base here, I think you'll see more money coming in.
And the other point before we leave corn, we understand that producer selling has picked up a little bit too, as it does around $4. But longer term, that has to be friendly. The trade knows where the corn is. A lot of it's on farm storage. We move that stuff out slow but sure, and put it in different hands. It could be more positive for producers longer term. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've got guys that store on a regular basis, right? When prices get too low, they use it like they use their bins like a bank, and they hold it until the prices come out, and we get here, and they're going to start taking some profit, which is part of the reason you see some selling. But again, we're going to probably see new money come in here, and I think that, again, that's the outside money I keep looking for, and eventually it will flow in here, and I think that'll be the impetus that will push our prices higher. We've got the Fed looking for inflation. We've got all kinds of reasons to believe the prices will go higher. And so if we ever get a market working, I think you're going to see that. I think that's not that far away. Again, I'm still looking for really higher prices across the board. My only concern remains in soybeans, and you can see how we keep fluttering around that $10 level, back and forth around it. And today again we're up at around 10.11 last I looked, but eventually I think that's got to hold, and if that does, we go higher.
Very good. And real quick, we are 8 cents higher in beans. Real quick for the wheat producers out there, or wheat traders, whoever's interested, we are down. Chicago wheat down 2 to 3. Kansas City wheat down as well, 4, 4.5. Minneapolis wheat even lower at the last look, down 6 to 8 cents right now. Todd Horwitz in Chicago. We have a lot to talk about in the livestock trade. I know you want to share some thoughts, and we'll do that coming back. Todd Horwitz live from Chicago after this. And we head to the top of the hour. One last look at the livestock trade. Let's go back to Chicago. Todd Horwitz joining us. Bubba Trading. It's bubbatrading.com. Great website if you look for information, buying or selling and putting a plan together. Todd, you wanted to talk a little bit, and rightfully so, about the news here in the cattle trade here and how it's been kind of a bang on the both, but they're cattle and feeder cattle, but they've made a turn just in the last hour here. So here we go again. The roller coaster ride continues.
Yeah, they have made a dramatic turn, and I think one of the things that I think everybody should remember here is that news, usually by the time it gets to the street, is already old news, and the people that know are already pricing in. So if you think that we're supposed to be going way lower and they're not going down, it's not something that fundamentally is going to change it right there. That means it's already been accounted for. So you got to be more careful. Again, you're not going to be able to jump in based on a fact that you heard, because remember, we're always hearing it third hand. It comes through a chain, and before it gets to you, it's already old. So you got to make sure you're watching the price money and not worried about the news at the time it comes out, because it's been into the market already.
So you have been watching the place to step in here in cattle and feeder cattle. Doesn't look like today's going to be the day when you're up higher by $1 or $2.
No, I think we have more room to go on the downside. I think here what you're seeing is, I guess they were talking a little about the mad cow thing, and you saw some pressure pushing him down early. And of course, that turned out to be, I guess, nothing, because we turned around and rallied right back up again. I think you're going to see, I'm looking for 113 or so in the fat cattle, and I'm looking for 140 in the feeders. I know it's a substantial move here, but it can happen easily. And I think one of the problems is you get too many buyers jumping in, everybody's getting back in. And of course, once they start to get out, the floodgates open, and the moves always go farther in either direction you think they can go.
All right, I'll get the numbers here one last time, but I want to get your thoughts before we let you go here in the hog complex and the pork trade. And July had been off the board now, well, since Monday, I believe, Monday afternoon. $82, in fact, heading to $83 for a time in August hogs.
Yeah, they're unbelievably strong right here. I thought when they broke below 80 on Friday, they would continue to work their way lower. The little bit of a rally didn't bother them, but now, again, we're trying to break out. So, to me, there's something here again.